In this lecture, you will learn extrema of a function of two variables using the method of Lagrange multipliers. Lagrange multipliers. Suppose you are given a function fxyz and you are asked to find its extremum value subject to a given condition gxyz equal to 0. Then, according to Lagrange multiplier method, you need to write three more equations, which are fx equal to lambda gx, fy equal to lambda gy, and fz equal to lambda zz. So overall, you have four equations. And how many unknowns? Lambda and three more xyz. Four equations, four unknowns. You can manipulate to calculate the values of xyz free from lambda. So at those values of xyz, you get extremum value of fxyz according to Lagrange multiplier method. Okay. I will explain you how do you get these equations. But before that, these three equations are equivalent to the single equation. Nabla f for del f equal to lambda times del g. What is it? You know, gradient of f. You saw it when we discussed directional derivatives. So it has three components, fx, fy, fz with I cap, j cap, k cap. It has also three components, lambda gx plus I cap plus lambda gy, j cap plus lambda gz, k cap. So if you equate the respective components, you get these three equations, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so these three equations are equivalent to this single equation. Now let's try to understand how do we get this equation. First, equation 1 is geometrically a surface. Do you agree with it? Gxyz geometrically represents a surface. So extremum of the function appears at some point of this surface, say pxyz. Okay. At any point of this surface, you know this del g is normal. So at pxyz also it is normal. Del g is normal to this surface at any point. Pxyz is the point where I'm considering that fxyz assumes its maximum or minimum value, extremum value. Now, let's pass a curve through this point. Let's pass a curve through this point lying on this surface. Okay. And this curve is parameterized by xt equal to rt equal to xt I cap plus yt j cap plus zt k cap. Along this curve, this function becomes a single variable function. Which function? fxt, yt, zt. And also, this function assumes its extremum value at this point. Because in general, this function is assuming its extremum value on the whole surface at this point. So if you pass a curve through it, this function also gets its maximum minimum value at the point pxyz. Okay, but it is a single variable function. If it gets its maximum minimum value at this point, its derivative with respect to t should be 0. And this means del f dot dr over dt equal to 0. We have done this derivation earlier. If f is function of xt, yt, zt, and x, y, z are further functions of t. From this, you can get del f dot dr over dt equal to 0. This we have done while discussing directional derivatives. Okay. But what does it mean? Del f is perpendicular to dr over dt, and dr over dt is tangent to this curve, right? Tangent vector to this curve. Del f is perpendicular to this tangent vector, right? But it is arbitrary curve passing through the point P. It will happen at every curve, at this point lying on every curve. What does it mean? Del f is normal to the surface. Del f is normal to the surface. Del g is already normal to the surface. What does it mean? Both are parallel. Both lie along the same direction because both del f and del g are normal to the surface. If both are parallel, one should be multiple of other. That's what I have written here. Okay. So you understand how do we get this condition? All right. Now let's see a problem on Lagrange multiplier method. In fact, we should do the problem first that we did towards the end of the previous lecture. Constraint maxima minima problem. What was the statement there? Find the dimensions of a box open at the top with volume 32 units requiring least material for its construction. So what is the surface area function that you want to minimize or extremize? Surface area function xy plus 2yz plus 2zx. Subject to which condition? Volume should be 32. So xyz should be 32. You can write this side also. xyz minus 32 should be 0. Let's name this function gxyz. So you want to extremize this function subject to this condition. Okay. So it is perfectly this kind of problem. Now let's apply Lagrange multiplier method. According to that, you have to write these three equations. So what is fx plus lambda gx in this case? Y plus 2z, partial derivative with respect to x, y plus 2z equal to lambda times yz, correct? Then fy equal to lambda gy means x plus 2z equal to lambda times xz. Fz equal to lambda gz means partial derivative with respect to z, you get 2y plus 2z equal to lambda times xy. So you have four equations, this one and these three equations. From these you have to obtain xyz free from lambda. So let's see how can we do the manipulation to get xyz. Let's multiply these three equations respectively by xyz. First by x, second by y, third by z. The right hand sides of these equations become all xyz. Correct? Now this is your equation number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's subtract 2 and 3. If we subtract 2 and 3, what do we get? 2 minus 3 implies 2z into x minus y equal to 0. Right hand sides are same. If you subtract, right hand side is 0. Z cannot be 0. Z is dimension of the box, so x equal to y. Now subtract second and third. No, 3 and 4. 3 minus 4. What is the result of this? If you subtract 4 from 3, you get x times y minus 2z equal to 0. Correct? From this, y equal to 2z because x cannot be 0. So with this manipulation, you are saying that x equal to y equal to 2z means you have a relation x equal to y and y equal to 2z. If you put x, y equal to 2z in the first equation, you can get z, correct? And you will see that z is 2. If z is 2, x and y both are 4. Okay, so it means fxyz gets its minimum value at which point? 442. 442. Remember that Lagrange multiplier method doesn't tell you the nature of the point. You have to judge it from the nature of problem. Okay, it just tells you that at this point the function gets extremum value, maximum value or minimum value. It doesn't tell. You have to see it from the problem. Okay, all right. So you understood this problem. Let me write one more problem for you that you will do yourself. I will just explain the initial part. Find the maximum volume of a cuboid inscribed into the ellipsoid x square over a square plus y square over b square plus z square over c square equal to 1. Now try to understand, this is ellipsoid. Its shape is something like this. You can roughly understand. In this one cuboid is inscribed. You can think like this. The 8 corners of this cuboid are lying on the surface of this ellipsoid. This is a 3D surface cuboid, this ellipsoid, okay? It is lying inside it. You can think it like this also, the 2D version of this problem. Suppose you are asked to find maximum area of a rectangle that can be inscribed in the ellipse given by x square over a square plus y square over b square equal to 1. So you can inscribe a rectangle like this. So this is 3D version of this problem, okay? This you have done in your 12th class. So this is 3D version of this. This time you are inscribing a cuboid inside this given ellipsoid. Now how to do this problem? You want to find maximum volume of this. So first you need to define its dimensions. So let 2x, 2y, 2z be dimensions of this cuboid inside this ellipsoid. Why these dimensions? Why these are multiplied with 2? That you need to understand. You see, this is symmetrically placed around origin. So this side it is x. To the left side also, The distance is x, total dimension is 2x. Okay, if I'm showing it y direction, consider this y. This side you can understand 2x. All right, so that's why the dimensions are 2 times of x, y, z. So what is volume? Volume function is given by 8xyz. So this is the function that you want to, in fact, maximize. Subject to which condition? Because this cuboid is put into this given ellipsoid. So this is the condition on this. So let's denote this condition by gxyz. X square over a square plus y square over b square plus z square over c square equal to 1, or you can put 1 to the left side. After this, you need to apply Lagrange multiplier method because the problem is designed here for the method. So write 3 more equations: fx equal to lambda gx, fy equal to lambda gy, fz equal to lambda gz. Manipulate them to get xyz. I'm writing the answer here. You have to do it yourself. Full solution is given in the lecture notes. You can see there. So you will find that x equal to a over root 3, y equal to b over root 3, and z equal to c over root 3. After solving the equations, you will find these values of x, y, z. So what is the maximum value of this function or volume? 8xyz means 8abc over 3 root 3. This is the final answer. All right. Okay. Now let's see how this method works when you need to extremize a function subject to 2 given conditions. So far we have considered 2 examples, but in both examples only one condition is given. Suppose 2 conditions are given. Extremize the function fxyz subject to the conditions g1 xyz equal to 0 and g2 xyz equal to 0. Okay. Now, according to Lagrange multiplier method, you need to write 3 more equations given by del f equal to lambda del g1 plus mu del g2. Lambda mu are Lagrange multipliers. These are Lagrange multipliers. So this is looking single equation, but in fact it carries 3 more equations. These are 3 equations, 2 more equations, overall 5, and how many unknowns? Lambda, mu, xyz. 5 equations, 5 unknowns. So you need to get xyz free from lambda and mu. So those values of xyz would extremize fxyz. Okay. Now again the geometry, why you get such a condition subject to these 2 constants. See, these are 2 surfaces. Okay. The point where this function gets maximum minimum value lies on both the surfaces. 2 surfaces intersect in a curve, say this curve. Okay. One side is z1 xyz equal to 0, other side is z2 xyz equal to 0. These 2 surfaces are intersecting in this curve. Say at the point pxyz on this curve, the function gets its extremum value. All right. At this point, see, this curve is lying on both the surfaces. Okay. So this is a common point of the surfaces. At this point, del g1 is normal to the surface, g1 xyz equal to 0, and at this point, del g2 is also normal to the surface, g2 xyz equal to 0. So these are normals to the 2 surfaces. Okay, these are normals in fact at every point, but I'm considering at pxyz. Now, the function fxyz also gets its extremum value at this point on this curve, okay? But this is a curve. It can be parameterized by a single variable as we did in the previous case. So along this curve, the function fxyz is a single variable function. So doing the same calculation, it can be parameterized by xt, yt, zt. You can easily show that this is dr over dt, that del f is perpendicular to this tangent, okay? But now del f, del g1 and del g2, these three vectors are acting at this point and these lie in the same plane. These are coplanar. If these three vectors are coplanar, then one vector should be linear combination of the other two. You know this result for three coplanar vectors. That's why you get this condition. Okay. So hope you understand it. Now see this example with two conditions. The plane x plus y plus z equal to 1 cuts the cylinder x square plus y square equal to 1, cuts the cylinder x square plus y square equal to 1 in an ellipse. Intersection of this cylinder and this plane is an ellipse. Find the closest and farthest points on this ellipse from the origin. Find the points on the surface, points on this ellipse. Ellipse is given by these two, okay? Find the points on this ellipse at maximum and minimum distances. At maximum and minimum distances. This is the problem. This is an ellipse obtained by intersection of this plane with this cylinder. You need to find the points on this ellipse which are at maximum and minimum distances from the origin. From the origin. See what is the problem geometrically. This is cylinder, infinite cylinder with axis as z-axis. Now this cylinder is cut off by this plane. You should understand this plane. This plane intersects x-axis, y-axis and z-axis in which points? 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1. Say something like this. You get an ellipse. So this point is 1, 0, 0. This point is where it cuts y-axis, 0, 1, 0. You can write this also 0, 0, 1. Okay. So on this ellipse, you have to search the points which are at maximum and minimum distances. That's the problem. So what is the distance function from origin? We can take square distance. Distance from origin is square root of x square plus y square plus z square. I have squared it because if square is minimum and maximum, square root would also be minimum and maximum. No problem. Okay, you can consider this function subject to these two conditions. What are these conditions? Say g1 xyz is x square plus y square minus 1 equal to 0, and g2 xyz is x plus y plus z minus 1 equal to 0. So now your problem is in this format. Okay, what you need to do now? Write three more equations using this. What are those three more equations? Fx equal to lambda g1 means partially differentiate this function with respect to x plus mu times partial derivative of z2 with respect to x. See what do you get. Do you get fx means 2x equal to 2 lambda x, lambda times g1 derivative, partial derivative of g1 with respect to x plus mu. Am I right? First equation. Second equation, similarly, you think and write yourself. 2y equal to 2 lambda y plus mu. And third equation, 2z equal to mu. So as expected, you have now five equations, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From these five equations, you have to find xyz free from lambda and mu. See what manipulation you can do. If I substitute the value of mu from this equation into these two, means I eliminate mu from these three equations. I'm left with two equations which are 1 minus lambda times x, you can check it, 1 minus lambda times x equal to z, and 1 minus lambda times y equal to z. Now what are the solutions of these two equations? Can you think? These two equations, what are the solutions? Depends on lambda. If lambda equal to 1, z is 0, certainly. Correct? If lambda not equal to 1, see first case. Lambda equal to 1, z equal to 0. Correct? Lambda 1, z 0. Second possibility, lambda not equal to 1. Lambda not equal to 1. In this case, you can write x equal to z over 1 minus lambda and y also z over 1 minus lambda. This thing. Okay. All right. So you have reached to these two solutions. Now, let's use these two equations. First case, when z equal to 0, this case, when z equal to 0, can we solve these two equations to get the intersection points, or you can say the solution? Yes, you will get 2 points in the solution. You can check yourself. When you solve these two using z equal to 0, x square plus y square minus 1 equal to 0, and other equation is x plus y minus 1 equal to 0. Solve these two for xy. You will get 2 points in the solution, 1, 0, 0 and 0, 1, 0. Okay. All right. Now look at these solutions. In this solution, main thing is that x and y are equal. If we use, say, y equal to x in these two equations and then solve for x and z, we can get the solutions. Second case, when x equal to y. You will get 2 more points. Root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, again root 2 over 2, and 1 minus root 2. This is first point that you will get in the solution when x equal to y. One more. It is minus root 2 over 2, minus root 2 over 2 and 1 plus root 2. Okay. Now you have got 4 points where the function will get extremum values. So which are the points where the distance gets maximum value, and which are the points the distance gets minimum value? Let's get the distances from these points. So calculate the values of this function on these 4 points. I think at 1, 0, 0 and 0, 1, 0, it is very clear values of this function are 1 in both the cases. Okay. And if you solve for this point, the value of this function, what do you get? Check it. 4 minus 2 root 2. Do you get 4 minus 2 root 2? You want to name these points. This is P1, this is P2. You can name these 2 points also if you like. So at P2, what is the value of this function? It is 4 plus 2 root 2. So first we have calculated the possible solutions for xyz, the points where the function gets its extremum values. Now we have written the values of the function at these points. Okay. So at which point you are getting minimum value? At both these points 1 and maximum value 4 plus 2 root 2. It's clear. It is lying between these two. All right. So the points at minimum distance on this ellipse from origin are 1, 0, 0 and 0, 1, 0. And the points at maximum distance, one point is at maximum distance, that is P2, given by this. All right. So you understand applying Lagrange multiplier method is easy. The difficulty that you may face is in this manipulation. When you manipulate the equations to get xyz free from lambda mu, there you can face a difficulty. You have to practice some more problems to learn these manipulations, okay? But method is straightforward. All right. So this way you can apply Lagrange multiplier method to get constrained maxima and minima of a function. Okay, so with this, chapter 14 is over. Next chapter is related to double and triple integrals. So that I will discuss in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you.